It is June the 16th, in the cool of the morning. Lots of moisture on the ground right now, but at least it's cool and the bugs are not about yet. Some spare potatoes here that will be going out into the ground very soon. I just took some cuttings of my rosemary. A few miserable geraniums, but I'll take cuttings of those fairly soon. 200 new asparagus plants coming along. Some Bahamian elder in pots. Now you see those two pots out there on the lawn. I made some mead recently and I put the washed honeycomb out to see if I could attract any bees, but no bees have shown up, so it shows that there are very few honeybees around. That's very sad. I should get some more bees, they'd be fun. Colonies are a bit expensive though, like $200–300. Something mashed up one of my pots of loofah overnight. They had a go at that one too, but the damage was not quite so bad. The others they left alone, so that was good. Now, let's get down into the garden. I was thinking the other day, they say that a good gardener knows what to do and when to do it. It's a good rule to try and keep. Now, this is my potato patch. Potatoes are coming along nicely. It's a bit spotty emergence, but that's what you get when you plant very deep. Looking closely, you will see that there are potatoes mixed in with a lot of a very blue-green weed. Now that blue-green weed is something that I enjoy eating, so I allow it to grow. When I weed this patch, I pull out everything except the potatoes and the blue-green weed. They can get boiled down and stored in the freezer for the winter. Very high in vitamin A. Now, here's my line of greens, the rocket, and lettuces. Now, these are the hills of squash. As you can see, the squash is coming along really nicely. A bit slow at the moment, but the roots will soon get down to the compost that I put underneath that hill. And there's more of this blue-green weed. I come out and cut the blue-green weeds just about every day or every other day. Lots of weeding to do. I made my last pulling of rhubarb leaves the other day and made a rhubarb crumble. It's early morning, so there are very few bees around on the onion flowers, but if you look carefully, there's a bumblebee there resting. Here is the asparagus bed, nicely highlighted, I think, with the early morning dew. Lots of weeding to be done in there. A row of beans, a row of standalone sweet million tomatoes, and these are the better, larger tomatoes that will grow up those poles. This is a line of gladiolus. The mature plants on the right hand side and the younger plants on the left. If I keep growing those younger plants, I should have a whole field full. More beans, bush beans. I think these are green bush beans. And these beans on the left are going to climb up those poles. This is a patch of as yet unused ground. It was used for potatoes last year, so I'm going through making sure that I get all of the potatoes that remained in the ground after I dug. It's amazing how many potatoes you could actually leave in the ground, even though you think you have dug it very carefully. And there's a milkweed in there. The milkweed is good for the butterflies. And this is a little patch of ground which is being cleared of weeds. Every time a weed appears, it needs to be dug and turned over. Do you see what I see? You are not welcome. So keep going, buddy. Keep going. Go on. Go somewhere else. Be a nuisance to somebody else. Go on. Well, I better switch off and deal with this slight issue.